Look, you guys know me. I am always willing to say what everyone else is afraid to say, and that's what I'm about to do right now. Because I believe that Candace Owens' coverage of the Charlie Kirk situation is a prime example as to why you do not send a black woman to do a white man's job. I find it kind of ironic that after years of people complaining about DEI hires, they turn to a DEI hire and prop up a DEI hire as the leading voice in Charlie Kirk's assassination. Because make no mistake about it, Candace Owens is indeed a DEI hire. If Candace Owens was a white woman, you would not know who she is. If Candace Owens was white, there would not be anything special about her. People like Candace Owens are put on a pedestal because they're a black person that may be spouting some conservative ideas or talking points. People like Candace Owens are put on a pedestal because they're a black person saying something that we're kind of only used to white people saying. And here in America, especially within the conservative movement, we have this problem of white guilt. Now, we know how the liberals feel about white people. We know that white liberals are self-hating white people. We get it. But there's a lot of people on the right and in the center. There's just a lot of white people, regardless, that suffer from something called white guilt. And the reason they're so loyal to Candace, the reason why they're so unwilling to question Candace, is because Candace is the only thing they have to try to prove to the world that they're not racist. Like I said, a lot of people, for whatever reason, they suffer from white guilt. This is something I've been talking about for a long time. And they think that by watching Candace's show, by propping up Candace because they're a fan of Candace, this proves to other soccer moms and other wine moms in their book club that they're not racist. It's kind of like I have a black friend, so I'm not racist defense. That's the reason why so many, mostly middle-aged wine moms, middle-aged white women, that's why so many of them are clinging to Candace Owens. Because it's the only black person they have to cling to prove that, hey, I'm not racist for thinking this. Candace Owens thinks this. Now, personally, I don't care what labels people put on me. You could think I'm this, you can think I'm that, I don't care. Because I don't suffer from white guilt like a lot of Candace's fans. But that's the reason why they're so unwilling to question her or to break ties with her. And that's the only reason why they have propped her up into the position that she's in now. Now, to be fair, I don't want it to seem as if I am just picking on Candace Owens because she's not the only one. If you're black and you want an easy ticket to fame, just pretend to be a conservative. And automatically, without doing any vetting, without looking into your background at all, conservatives will welcome you in with open arms and they will make you famous. Candace Owens is not the only one. All of these other black conservatives are just like her. Brandon Tatum, anyone you can name. And I'm not trying to throw shade at them or I'm not trying to slight them. I'm just being honest. That's all I'm doing is being honest. Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum, insert black conservative name here. There's nothing really unique or special about these people. If they were white, their voice would just become another voice in a sea of voices. But because they're black, saying things that we're only used to white people seeing, they're put on a pedestal, they're propped up, and what have you. Now, some of you may be wondering, why am I bringing up race at all in this situation? Well, I'm bringing it up for a reason, trust me. Because when it comes time for accountability, all of this being a conservative, all of this talking in a proper manner, all of this kind of acting white goes out of the window when it comes time for Candace to have some accountability for the fake information, for the false information she's put out there. What does she do? Does she react like a conservative? No. She resorts back to the basic stuff that we're used to seeing from black women. I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing. Everything that I did is everyone else's fault. This is not how conservatives usually look at problems. If a conservative makes a mistake, they usually will acknowledge their mistake. Not all the time. But I just find it ironic that Candace Owens portrays herself to be one way in order to fit in with a certain fan base. And then when she gets called out, she resorts right back to didn't do nothing, black woman, dodging accountability, something that we're used to seeing a lot. Because last night, Candace Owens put out this information claiming that an Egyptian Air Force plane came to Utah and played a role in killing Charlie. She posted the flight data and everything, right? The only problem is she's a DEI hire. So she's not really an investigative journalist. She's not really good at her job. Her team is the one that really brings all of this information together for her to talk about on her shows. But she shared this information claiming, this is proof that the Egyptian Air Force helped kill Charlie. There was this big meeting, and she claimed that this plane took off right after Charlie was killed. The only problem is, Candace, being a DEI hire, she does not understand the difference in time zones. She does not know how to read a clock. So she shared this information with over 7 million people, folks, and did it so much as, kind of cross-check her own information, because right there in her post, you can clearly see that this plane took off at 7 o'clock in the morning, not after Charlie was killed, well before he was killed. So she put out this false information, blatantly, easily debunked false information. And instead of saying, hey, you know what? I got it wrong. I've been working overtime, looking into things. I got something wrong. I'm only human. I got this wrong. Instead of taking any accountability, like someone in her position should, what does she do? She resorts right back to her natural self. She resorts back to her natural instincts, which is to dodge accountability. I didn't do nothing. And instead of just admitting I'm wrong, I'm going to blame everyone else. It's everyone else's fault. So after she got called out, fact-checked and everything about the false information she put out, here's her reply. Given the artificial boost of the Snopes-like debunking of the Egyptian military flight, it is clear they are panicked about its discovery. Who were the people dropped off when the flight arrived in Provo? How many people were on the manifest for its return flight on 9/10? Now, from the looks of things, this plane actually went to Provo because there's actually special maintenance bases and locations where they actually work on this specific type of airplane. Okay? There's 3 different locations in Provo where they specialize on doing maintenance on these airplanes, doing repairs, having certain parts, doing certain tests on this exact same type of airplane that we know landed in Provo. An airplane that she is claiming is the Egyptian Air Force that was carrying world leaders that were all coming together to meet about killing Charlie, because stuff like that happens. It's absolutely ridiculous. And now that this information has been provided, and all of the info that Candace put out there has been debunked, her fans are still doubling down as well, saying, oh, Well, she may have gotten the time wrong. She may have been wrong. But it's still very suspicious. It's still very odd that a plane from Egypt is flying in America. Well, folks, that's actually not odd at all. Because you see, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm talking to kindergartners sometimes. There are over 16,000 international flights in and out of America every single day. No, it is not odd for a plane from Egypt to be flying in America. It's not odd for a plane from any other country to be flying in America, because we have something called airports, and people fly to other countries all the time. People fly from other countries all the time. Hell, they just announced the other day that they're going to be training the Qatari freaking Air Force in Idaho. So no, it's not odd, folks, for there to be international flights. And I mean, for someone to just say, hey, this one flight out of the 17,000 international flights that happened today, this is so odd, this is so crazy, why is this plane here? It's stupid. It's stupid. I hate to break it to you. But instead of taking accountability for putting out this false information, she doubles down and now claims that everyone else is part of a scheme. It's everyone else, they're trying to discredit me. No, we just simply pointed out that you're wrong. But because she's a black woman, she's incapable of being wrong. She's incapable of accepting any accountability. It's always the same didn't do nothing defense. It's everyone else's fault for noticing that I put out fake, bogus information once again. So right here, plain as day, she's saying, oh, that we're all panicking. Do I look like I'm panicking? Guys, after I get done recording this video, I'm about to go eat Chinese food and watch football. I'm not panicking. I'm not panicking about the Egyptian flight. I'm simply pointing out that Candace Owens is too dumb to read a clock or understand the difference in time zones. And I'm really trying to be nice here. But she's really insulting people's intelligence when she doubles down on her lie and now claims, oh, it's everyone else's fault for noticing I'm wrong. In fact, this person put it perfectly right here. Thinks UTC means Utah time. Everyone laughs at how incredibly retarded she is. Claims the laughter isn't real to skirt embarrassment. Only a black woman could be this full of themselves. So she literally takes her getting proven wrong and getting embarrassed in front of millions of people. She takes that and turns it into, oh, it's just all of these big bad whiteys. It's the big bad white people who are coming to discredit me by pointing out the truth. It's all part of an operation. Guys, we got to figure out who was on that plane. Dodging accountability. Didn't do nothing. Everything is everyone else's fault. If you notice that the information she is sharing is wrong, then you must be in on the plot. If you're able to read a clock, if Candace Owens tells you that it's 1 p.m. and it's really 8 a.m., and you point it out, it's because you killed Charlie. It's not because you have common sense and you know how to read a clock. So that's where we're at. And when I look at this, I wonder, how do other people feel? Because what she should have done is just accept accountability. Hey, I got this wrong. Sorry, I got this wrong. I jumped to conclusions. I'm going to do better next time. No. Instead, she's still pretending like she was right. Instead, she's pretending like everyone else are bad people for pointing out that she can't read a clock. And her unwillingness to accept that she was wrong, her unwillingness to acknowledge that she put out fake, bogus, false information, lets you know that she's unwilling to be truthful about other things. So all of the other stuff that's gotten debunked, that's the reason why she won't come out and say, hey, yeah, that got debunked, because she's unwilling to. She's unwilling to. All she had to do is say, hey, I put out this information about a flight. I didn't know how to read the clock. Sorry, guys. I know you guys relied on me to be the smartest person on earth. I know you guys complained about DEI hires for 4 years straight under Joe Biden. But now that Charlie is dead, I am the #1 DEI hire covering this investigation. I know I can't read a clock, but I need you guys to trust all of the information I'm putting out there. That's basically what she's saying. All she had to do was admit she's wrong. She won't admit that. Instead, she's acting like it's everyone else's fault that she's wrong. And this shows you the type of mentality that she has. This shows you that she's not someone that you can trust with any information at all at this point. Because there's plenty of stuff that Candace Owens put out there that I believed in the past, and now I'm looking at any and everything she has ever said in her life, I'm looking at it sideways now. Because I know you guys might not understand this. I have nothing against Candace. I'm not someone who hates Candace. I don't even dislike Candace. I actually kind of liked Candace up until a couple of weeks ago when I noticed that she was knowingly spreading false information about Charlie's death. She has deceptively edited clips and everything. And I've watched it happen. And you'll see comments, she gotta watch her show. I watch her show. We're all watching the shit show, ladies and gentlemen. It's just some of us are smart enough to call it out. Because some of us are smart enough to read a clock. Candace Owens is not. But that's who you're relying on to lead this investigation. So you guys can follow the DEI hire because you're scared of being labeled racist. I'll be over here with the people who have common sense that aren't afraid of whatever labels you'll try to place on them. For now, though, you guys let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all soon in the next one. Try not to panic.